Hello and welcome back to a Delta analysis video. Today's Delta Emolga, which is a fire and dark type, which is like okay defensively and offensively. Still have a few weaknesses, especially rocks is a very important weakness, and fighting in ground are pretty common. Um, and water is also very common, so you do have to watch out for those. Looking at the stats, it has 55 HP, 60 defense, 60 stat, which is not very bulky at all. You may live one hit, but you probably won't live that many hits. 75 attack, 75 special attack, okay, and 103 speed is pretty good, very good actually, considering this thing's ability. 103 speed is pretty damn good, because it does force a lot of things. Um, Looking at its abilities, it gets two abilities: Flash Fire, which means that whenever you get hit by a fire type move, you get your fire type attacks, your own fire type attacks get boosted in power. And Fired Up, which is in the Insurgence itself, it's called Blaze Boost, but I renamed it to Fired Up because I think it's a better name and it made more sense in like coding. It was like weird like Blaze itself, so Fired Up is a better name. It Because I have to look at the wiki because I'm not 100% sure I have it entirely right coded. So before you attack with a fire type move, offensive fire type move, you boost your attack, special attack, and speed by 1 stage before you attack. And when it's activated, you change form, and then there's a 10% chance to burn. Like it's like a flame body, but like worse, flame body light, with like a 10% chance to burn things with contact moves. The second part I haven't coded, I don't think, but it does before it attacks boost attack, special attack, and speed by 1 stage, which is insanely stupid. Because if it attacks with a fire type move, it instantly is like choice bandit, choice scarf, and choice spectre at the same time, without being locked in. And you can just snowball with this. Every single time you click a fire type offensive move, you boost your attack stat, special attack stat, and speed stat. And yeah, it's not my favorite ability because it's kind of very hard to balance. But yeah, it's really good and has a ton of snowball potential. Yeah. Looking at utility sets, because Encore, which is pretty good, forces the opponent to use like a status move or like whatever, something that doesn't threaten you at all. Taunt to prevent them from using status moves, although I prefer Encore personally, because snowballing, getting free moves off is always a good thing. And forcing them to not attack you is better than forcing them to attack you when your defenses are not that high. Knockoff, good move, removes items, U-turn pivoting, sucker punch priority, quick attack priority, will-o-wisp, burns things, all good moves. Great utility moves. Yeah, sucker punch is very good to like stab priority. The first set is the special sweeper. Although to be fair, even as a special sweeper, you're boosting your attack, so you can easily just run physical moves on this. Like you could run Sucker Punch on this if you wanted to. Cause I didn't have it covered, but like Sucker Punch is always a good move to have in case things like priority, or like try to out priority you, and then you out priority their priority, unless they have extreme speed. So it could always be useful. Flamethrower, Fire Blast, or even Lava Plume if you want to burn things. Like any fire type move works as long as they're offensive and boost your stats. And then the rest is just filler. Dark Pulse, other stab, Energy Ball helps with water types, helps with the rock types, helps with the ground types, although Flamethrower, Fire Blast will probably eventually snowball enough that ground types and rock types will not be a problem with stab, but water types are always an issue because they're usually bulkier than other mons, especially ground types rock types is generally physically defensive. And like you don't really hit dragons that well besides with dark balls, but it'll be fine. Nasty Plot, you can run Nasty Plot, you can run Will-O-Wisp, you can run Overheat for like wrecking. Like even Overheat only just like you go +1, then -2. So like, in general, it's not even that bad. U-turn for pivoting, all the utility like Encore, like Sucker Punch, like Knockoff even, taunt, whatever you want to run, you can run it on this thing. Will-O-Wisp, sorry, Will-O-Wisp there. But basically, you just click fire moves as long as you're able to click fire moves, and you hope to break literally everything. If you are allowed to snowball, you will win the game instantly. And if you're not allowed to snowball, then you have an Emolga in the back that can snowball, threaten the snowball at any point in time. And that's yeah. Um, yeah. The physical set is basically the same idea, except that you run physical moves. Surprise, surprise. Flare Blitz, knockoff, Wood Hammer. That's your physical coverage basically. U-turn for pivoting if you want to, although you do reset your set. You give up your stats if you U-turn. So generally speaking, if your U-turn is good, but when you're already at like +2 attack, +2 speed, you don't really care about U-turn. You just kill things with Flare Blitz or knockoff, preferably Flare Blitz. You get Iron Tail for fairies, get acrobatics. I don't know, maybe you use an item or something. Not really anything acrobatics hits that Flare Blitz wouldn't. Will-O-Wisp, burn things, Sucker Punch. Priority is good. Utility like Encore, Taunt, always good. You can run Energy Ball over Wood Hammer if you don't want to take Recoil. I don't know if there's any other physical fire moves. I will check right now. Emolga, fire. It gets Flame Charge and Flame Wheel. Yeah, it doesn't really get any other physical fire techniques. So basically, either Flare Blitz or Flame Charge, and Flame Charge won't snowball fast enough. Like, well, Gas Flame Wheel would be better because you get the speed anyway. Yeah, you really want Flare Blitz for the power. Otherwise, you're just not being able to break nearly as often as you would otherwise want to. So yeah. My thoughts on this thing's ability, like, the Pokemon is good, but it's also bad, in a sense. Because if you allow it to snowball, you lose instantaneously. If you just don't allow it to snowball, it's not even that big of a deal. My thoughts on the ability is especially because it boosts before you attack. So, if it's a +2, it's effectively at +3 unless you're forcing it to not click fire attack moves. And yeah, and you can like hazard stack, wear them down over the game. Is it just this thing? You need something at full health with reliable recovery. Do not allow it to constantly blow you away. But if you can keep recovering on it because it attacks you and boosts its attacking stats at the same time, guaranteed, and that's incredibly stupid. So it's not not very bulky. It dies in like 1 or 2 hits, guaranteed basically. Even if they're like resistant, you probably won't take them well. But it's so good at snowballing that I just feel the ability is insanely unbalanced. That like I banned the ability like last season. Like I don't think the ability is fun, but yeah, like if you don't run the ability, like I could have had like a flash fire set, but you basically just run the same things. Maybe like more like a support set, more of a Will-O-Wisp set, more of a like a utility set with like Encore and Taunt, more focus on that. But yeah, this thing, if you're running fired up, you're gonna have a good chance to just snowball with this thing because eventually your opponent will run out of things. Even with boots, this thing is incredibly stupid with boots because boots or like life orb or something like that is insanely stupid. Because if you can get a 2 on the fire resist with this thing with life orb, GG. Yeah, you just win the game right then, right there, basically. And if you not like run boots, pressure their fire resists, and then just spam fire late game and win the game. Yeah, that's basically what Delta Emolga does, and yeah, I'm not a big fan of it. But if you are, that's cool. Um, Next up is Delta Escavalier, which is a lot of fun. Looks stupid, but it's a lot of fun. So see y'all then. Goodbye.